Okay, guys, welcome back. And as you know, we are again continuing the series. So, without wasting any time, let us go to the question. So, first question is, what are the architectural patterns that you have used? So, this question is mostly asked to senior programmers. Like, if you are a very senior programmer, they will ask you this question. Maybe they might hint a bit on the junior level or maybe like around 7 years of level. Because as you can see, most of the things are almost the same. Like a model view controller is there, right? It's an architecture where you kind of Spring framework everyone to do this thing where you have a model to handle the business logic, controller is there for the web services part, and view is there for the your presentation layer. Now we come to publish and subscribe. That is basically all the messaging architecture. You have Kafka, you have observer pattern for this, and so basically, if I am an observer and they are subscriber, so I will send some message and they will do me. So basically, producer, consumer can also be there. All the notification things are coming for this one. Now this is called service locator. So it is basically used in a service like JNDI to actually locate all the available service present. And it also uses a central registry to maintain the list of services. So you can say instead of service locator, you can say registry and then discovery also, service discovery. That's also good thing. Now, n-tier application, right? So like, you know that generic design pattern is right. You divide your architecture into multiple tiers. Like three tier we already talked about: presentation, application, data layer. Similarly, we have also called as multi-layer design. Like you actually prevent everything or like preserve everything in different layer rather than coding everything in one particular Git repository or like that. Now we call as a data access object. So DAO pattern. Okay, so it is like DTO, you can also say, and it is basically to use access to the database object, and it's very simple that we don't want to change any business logic. We will just change whatever the mapping between the model and the DTO is there, and it works well. Now coming to inversion of control, which is like one of the major factors for the Spring, right? So it's a very core dependency of Spring framework, and we can say that we always start application, and whenever we need something, we will initialize it, and we keep everything like loosely coupled. We don't want to initialize everything at once. So that is something which is in this one, and there is lazy fetching, eager fetching, all those things are there, which is very good. And so now coming back to what are the popular uses of facade design pattern. See, what I have used, I can tell you, is like I had a lot of classes which needs to work from my monolith to an SDK operation. So I used that particular classes implementation, like all those things, how to get account details, how to get connection details, how to get merchant details. All those implementation was there in a facade. So it actually provides you a convenient method, right, for common tasks. And the second one is like it make the software library more readable. It also can reduce the external dependency on the working of inner code. And a facade can act as a single well-designed API by wrapping a collection of poorly designed APIs. Okay, a facade pattern can be used when a system is very complex and difficult to use. It can simplify the uses of a complex system. Okay, so this is one more example. So if you can go ahead and revise how you can see, you have to what when you will use a facade, when you want to use common task, and you will have a convenient method for that. More readable software library, you know how what all things are there in this library, so it can tell you. It can reduce external dependency, which can work on the inner code. You just can get the what is that thing it does, right? So it can also act as a single well-designed API by wrapping all the poorly designed APIs into one thing. And facade pattern can be used when a system is very complex and difficult to use. So now we can talk about what is the difference between a factory and a builder design pattern. This is a very good question, which always comes up whenever you need something. So both factory and builder patterns are creational design pattern. Okay, so that means it always used to create an object. So they are similar in nature, but factory pattern is very simplified, generic version of builder design pattern. That's a very good argument. why factory pattern is a simplified generic version. So basically, when we use a factory pattern, we can create different concrete subtypes of an object. So that means a client of a factory may not know the exact subtype. But suppose if we call a create drink, we may get tea or coffee drinks. But when we use a builder pattern, we create different concrete subtypes, okay, of an object. Same thing. So we can use factory and we can use builder to do both the things. But when we do something else, builder pattern uses composition. Okay. So what it does is, if we want to use create drink, we can also have get cappuccino coffee, get with vanilla ice cream and sugar, and or get latte with Splenda and milk cream. So that builder gives us this particular things. So builder can also support creation of a large number of variants of an object. Okay, but factory will have only subtypes. Whatever we have declared, this is how the factory can do. So that is a good thing. Now let's come to Memento design pattern. This will be our last question for today. So a Memento design pattern is used to implement rollback feature in an object. Okay, in a Memento design pattern, what are the things we have in database, right? Commit and rollback. So Memento also does this. So Memento has three things. One is the originator, so the object which will have the initial or internal state. Second is the caretaker. So that means that the object can change the state of originator, but it wants to have control over rolling back the change. So it will be the person who will have the control. If something goes wrong, I'll change. Memento is the object. Okay, memento is the object that caretaker gets from originator before making the change. So if caretaker wants to change anything in the originator, it will use memento. Okay, so one of the good example is the online form. So if you want to show to user a form which is pre-populated with some data, and if he has changed something, so we can again go back to the original state. So the original state, we can use memento to use that. That is one of the good things. So yeah, with that, I will close this one. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please share with someone who is in need, and it will be there in YouTube for you. So I will be back again with another video. Bye bye.